Welcome and thanks for tuning in to my YouTube channel. In this intro, I'll give you a brief overview of my financial journey. My hope is that after watching this video, you'll feel inspired to take charge of your own finances. Let's dive in. Introduction. My own money history. In January 2021, I made a decision. I will become a millionaire. From a young age, we were taught the value of money at home. We didn't have much, so we never wasted it. From one perspective, but I'll come back to that later. This manifested in saving, avoiding unnecessary purchases, and working hard. In the beginning, this meant doing chores around the house, helping neighbors, and working in the local grocery truck during my teenage years. We also occasionally sold baby rabbits when our pet, Snout, managed to escape and mate with our Flemish giant, Bertus. As soon as it was allowed, at age 15, my twin sister and I took on 3 newspaper routes. After school and on weekends, I worked in the bakery department at the local grocery store. When I was 16, I graduated with my junior high diploma after 2 years of higher general secondary education and 2 years of junior secondary vocational education. By then, I had already saved up a significant amount of money for my age. My tendency to be a bit different from the average teenage girl led me to save up for an old second-hand microcar. I sold my beloved Tomos Revival moped and upgraded my transportation. So, for the last months of high school, I arrived dry, warm, and with music playing in my bright orange Châtenay Stella. People laughed at me, but who laughs last, laughs best. For years, I thought I wanted to be a veterinarian, but that changed completely after one day of internship. Besides my love for animals, I always had an interest in vintage cars, especially pickups and vans. I enjoyed working with my hands. Growing up in a family of doers, we were always fixing or renovating things at home. A friend of mine had a Volvo Amazon he tinkered with, and that sparked my interest in mechanics. So, I decided to study automotive engineering. Before starting the program, I had an entire summer vacation to fill. I quit the bakery job and started working at a snack bar instead, though that didn't last long. Fortunately, by the time I left, I had found other jobs. Several times a week, my sister and I drove with my microcar to a fruit farm to work as pickers. I also managed to secure some repair jobs at a local garage, where I had interned for a day. I would work there during my studies after the vacation. My summer was packed. By the time I was 17, I had caught the mechanical bug. I spotted a 1978 vintage camper van that had been standing idle for 10 years, completely stripped inside. It was a calmer walk through with a more fun 6-cylinder nose. I worked 4, often 5, days a week at the garage, and attended school 1 day a week. Despite this, I took on the camper as a side project. I was already working on getting my driver's license and had just received a Polo 3 that was otherwise destined for the scrapyard. It needed repairs too. Before my 18th birthday, I was driving my refurbished Polo and my long-term project, the right-hand drive vintage bus. The Comer required extensive welding and mechanical work. I designed a complete new wiring diagram and replaced all the old cables. On Monday evenings after work, I joined the local carpentry club to build the interior. This sparked my interest in interior construction. When the bus was somewhat usable, I took it for occasional weekend trips or festivals. Due to a frequently unstable home situation, I moved out at 18. My then boyfriend and I, who had been together for about 2 years, chose an apartment to live in. However, when I broke up with him at age 20, I moved back home temporarily. By then, I had earned my first automotive technician diploma and had just started an advanced course for a technical specialist in passenger cars while working happily at a Volvo dealership. This change made me realize I had no relationship, no permanent contract, and no own home. If I ever wanted to travel, now was the time. So I worked out my time that month, sold my Mazda MX-5, and left for an indefinite solo backpacking adventure in Australia with my savings. It turned out to be 6 months in Australia and 1 month in Indonesia. I highly recommend working towards such an experience. During this trip, I decided to someday pursue a special kind of Airbnb camping and wanted to obtain my large vehicle driving license. Although the Commer was reclassified to a regular car license, it originally required a large vehicle license. Being able to drive it would allow me to restore and convert even larger buses. Upon returning to the Netherlands in 2018, I settled in Brabant, obtained my CE driving license, and worked for 2 years as a truck driver. During this time, I also renovated my temporary living space to sell it later for a nice profit. After gaining more work experience and personal lessons, I wanted to combine my trucking skills with interior construction. Ideally, I wanted to become self-employed, but first I needed more experience in the interior construction sector. I found the perfect combination at a rapidly growing company that built expedition trucks. I learned to construct luxurious, self-sufficient units from start to finish and install them on custom truck chassis with colleagues. During this period, I met someone who positively influenced me. Previously, I tended to seek relationships that weren't entirely healthy, allowing me to avoid confronting my own childhood issues. This person helped me develop a positive outlook on myself again. At 25, I yearned for more freedom, fulfillment, and the ability to invest in my own future. I started as a freelancer. Growing up without much money gave us a particular view of it. Hard work and saving were all we knew. Rich people were considered stingy, and money was said not to bring happiness. Until a few years ago, I had never heard of investing. Could you put your money to work? Stocks, ETFs, and crypto. What are they? Knowing these terms and understanding how they work is crucial, but it requires a different mindset to start and stick with it. By learning about money daily for 3 years, my perspective changed drastically, and I went from minus 1,000 euros to plus 100,000. In late 2020, I hit my financial low due to various private circumstances, but emerged stronger by early 2024. Of course, I made mistakes along the way. For instance, I once tried to start a side business, which failed due to a poor location choice, and I lost 5,000 euros in a week on a poorly researched investment. On this channel, I share short stories, insights, and ideas that have helped me reach my first 100,000 euros, 1/10 of my goal to become a millionaire. They say it gets easier and faster after this number. I will check back in 3 years to see if that's true, but for now I believe in it and want to share the tools that have helped me so far. Follow my channel and gradually change your unconscious negative view of money. If I can save up 100,000 euros working in the workshop and driving a truck, so can you. With few exceptions. Some fun notes. I moved out at 18, and by 20 I had saved 9,000 euros for traveling. After my adventures, I returned with just under 1,000 euros left. I worked 2 kind of jobs in the workshop and drove trucks, never earning top salaries. By the end of 2020, I was financially and emotionally at rock bottom. In 2023, after 10 years of working for others, I decided to take the plunge into self-employment. Now, after about a year as a freelancer, I'm proud to say I've built everything up financially entirely on my own strength and determination. Stay tuned for more stories, tips, and ideas to help you on your path to financial independence. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to check out my other videos for more tips and insights.